like everybody else on campus, we had about 9 days to move from our normal operations to remote work and online only. And so that was a little bit chaotic, but the library faculty and staff are very dedicated and very creative. And I think we arrived at a place where it was possible for us to do most of our work remotely and to support classes, which was really important as classes moved online and students and faculty needed more online resources. It was a great opportunity for us because, of course, the libraries have, for years now, had a strong digital component in addition to our physical collections. Like many academic libraries, are taking part in the HATHITRUST Emergency Access Program, which allows us to access the millions, or at least some portion of the millions of digital files of books, digital scans of books in the HATHITRUST library. What we can do now is that if we own a physical copy of a book that isn't available because people can't get access to our stacks, and there is a digital copy in the HATHITRUST library, our faculty and students can access that digital copy. Well, open educational resources have just been incredibly important actually throughout the time that we've been working on them, because they reduce the financial burden for many of our students as textbook costs escalate. But during the pandemic and the period of remote teaching, online, openly accessible resources have become multiple times more important because of the ability of students to get access when they need it, wherever they are, to textbooks and other kinds of educational resources. This is an emphasis for the libraries and has been for a while. It's an area where our donors have been incredibly important, and a recent donation by Margie and Mike Shepard to support the creation of open educational resources has made this so much more central to what the libraries are doing. Right now, the library administration is in the midst of thinking about how we're going to reconfigure and restructure our spaces and our services to be ready for students when they come back in August. That takes a lot of different forms. We're probably not going to allow access to our stacks, but are instead going to have pickup services for faculty and students to get what they need at the front entrance of our buildings. That'll help us reduce the density in terms of the number of people who are in the building. We're also, like so many other public spaces right now, reconfiguring our study areas so that we will have places for students, and we have had right through since March, have places for students who need to be in the libraries to accomplish their classwork or their research. But we'll practice appropriate social distancing as we do that. We're being guided throughout the process of reopening by the basic principles that KU has emphasized in their Protect KU plan and elsewhere, that the most important things we can do are wear face coverings, practice appropriate physical distancing, practice good hand hygiene, and clean work surfaces frequently. And those are the messages we're delivering to our staff and that we'll try to inculcate with students as they begin to come back to our spaces. We're really looking forward to having our students back. We miss them, but we want to make sure that the libraries is a place of discovery and safety. Right now, we're tasked with continuing to accomplish our mission to support teaching and research without knowing for sure what our budget is going to look like in the coming months. At the moment, we have the budget that we were given for fiscal year 21, and we're operating with that budget, even though we are very, very certain that that's going to change, that there are going to be significant budget reductions. Right now, we're trying to spend as little as we can, but continuing to meet those mission-critical goals. One thing that this has made really clear to me is the importance of the support that we get from the friends and donors of going to the library. It is one of the few places where there is some stability, and so it's going to be an increasingly important. It was already vital to our mission and to our existence, and it's just going to be even more essential as we go forward. How we engage with our closest friends and donors is changing. As much as we'd love to gather together in face-to-face meetings and events, that's just not possible right now. So we're reimagining how we engage with all of you with online events and creative approaches like this video. We are always thinking about the best ways to keep all of you informed about what's going on in the libraries and to hear from you about what matters most to you. So while the form is changing, the format is changing, the desire to keep in touch with all of you is every bit as strong as it always has been. It's just that we can't do it in person yet. It continues to be true that the libraries are the heart of KU and every academic campus. And in spite of the challenges that the pandemic has created, that is still true, and we're still working to meet the fundamental mission that makes it true, to be a support for every student who comes to the KU campus or doesn't come to the KU campus but engages with us online, and to help further the research enterprise of our faculty and graduate students, because that is how we're going to accomplish the fundamental mission of the university, which is to change lives and make discoveries. The libraries will always be a part of that. The pandemic isn't going to stop that. It's simply going to change the way we engage in that mission. No matter where you are, KU libraries are there for you.